Half a day and good morning, everyone. My name is Colin Lock, and I'm a master's student at the University of Guam Marine Laboratory, where I study coral transcriptomics and restoration. I'm very excited to share with you what I've been working on this summer at War in the Pacific National Historical Park, titled Assessing Conditions for Coral Reef Restoration. Coral reefs are among the most productive ecosystems on the planet and are estimated to produce $36 billion annually in terms of food security, tourism, and coastline protection. However, these vital ecosystems are disappearing at an unprecedented rate. As many of you know, one of the biggest drivers of coral habitat loss is coral bleaching caused by warming oceans. Coral restoration can be a useful tool to maintain structural integrity and complexity of coral reefs and mitigate some of the losses we're experiencing. It generally involves procuring some coral fragments, propagating them in a nursery phase, and transplanting them to degraded reefs. However, for restoration efforts to be successful, the conditions of the recipient site must be well understood. Many institutions around Guam, including National Park Service, have been collecting valuable oceanographic data that can inform conservation efforts. My project started from the need for a centralized database so that everyone has access to all the available data. The first part of my project was standardizing, quality controlling, and concatenating NPS Guam's water quality data. Then I took this dataset and built a web app with Rshiny so that anyone can easily visualize and manipulate it. Here you can see tidal, light intensity, and temperature data over time for the 3 NPS sites. Additionally, here's a little map showing our site locations and a data table with the raw data. In the app, there are various options to filter the data by date range, by site, by data type, and then also summarize the data by day, week, or month. Once you have a subset of the data that you're particularly interested in, you can download the filtered data here. Another cool feature is the ability to overlay external datasets, such as NOAA's Coral Reef Watch or Ocean Nino Index. For example, you can overlay average sea surface temperature for Guam over the logger data and visualize it here. Another interesting one is the bleaching alert level, which attempts to predict coral bleaching. On another page, you can upload logger files, which will be standardized, average hourly, and then merged with the existing database, which you can verify here and then download. There's also an area to update the external databases that I mentioned earlier. Right now, this dataset only holds 3 types of data, but it'll be easy to add more in the future. I built this app so it's easy for scientists, managers, or even members of the public to share, visualize, and retrieve this valuable data. Many organizations around Guam are collecting oceanographic data, but seeing the big picture can be difficult because a centralized database did not exist. University of Guam has already offered to host the app and use it for their logger data management. In addition to the database curation and app development, I've been assisting with the NPS Coral Reef Monitoring Program for the parks here in Guam. We set up 5 new transects at each of the 3 national park sites to understand coral coverage change over time. Guam Reef Restoration and Intervention Partnership, or GRIP, is our local collaboration of scientists, government entities, including National Park Service, managers, and volunteers to actively conserve Guam's coral reefs. Before and during my internship, I worked on expanding and maintaining our coral nurseries. Currently, we have 2 ocean nurseries comprised of PVC trees and tables that hold almost 1,700 frags from 6 threatened acropora species. Last May, the GRIP group outplanted nearly 500 nursery-grown corals onto a degraded reef flat area in a national park site. Over the summer, I've been working with GRIP and researchers at University of Guam to characterize the remaining staghorn patches around Guam. Understanding the condition and composition of staghorn patches will help us choose resilient populations for culture and also inform us of potential outplanting sites. For the future, I'll be going back to my job at the university as a graduate research assistant and will also be a dive volunteer for NPS/WAPA. I plan to obtain my U.S. Coast Guard captain's license and finish my thesis in the spring of 2021, and after graduation, I'd like to pursue a career in federal service. Finally, I would just like to thank everyone at War in the Pacific National Historical Park, especially my wonderful mentors Ashton Williams and Mike Gowell, and the whole Future Park Leaders team for facilitating this amazing opportunity. Over the summer, I was able to significantly develop my coding and fieldwork skills and feel very fortunate I was able to participate in this internship given the current pandemic.